Hello, thank you for clicking on my video. Welcome to Clamoring Towards Truth. Today I am going to be touching base on religion, why I feel religion is good and it is important for people to get a structured life, but I don't feel like it's the end game. I do feel like religion is for population control, but there's nothing wrong with religion. Why do you need a book to tell you how to be a person, be a good person? That kind of doesn't make sense to me. I never really aligned with a religion. Um, Even though I do believe in a higher power, I do believe in God. I do believe Jesus was a person. I do believe he had abilities. And I do believe the Holy Spirit is with us. Because every time I hear or speak truth, I get a nice little shockwave down my whole spinal system. So I know the Holy Spirit is real and my life has been transformed by it. So religion is true, but not the dogmatic, not the dogmatic population control aspect. Like Roman Catholic, even though I was raised Catholic, I don't believe in like any Catholicism, any kind of religion. Well, with that being said, let me go ahead and get into it. Um, Even though I am reading the Bible right now, I am still making my way through it, so don't lash out at me. I do agree with the Bible. There is good wisdom, and I connect with a lot of the teachings. But it's when people give up their power and seek it through this book instead of seeking it through their heart. That's what I don't agree with. All right. The teachings are nice, and I agree with them. Yes, you can become a better person. Yes, you can fulfill your life. And yes, as soon as you do start reading it, it is a living word and it lives through you. Words have power and words have meaning. Okay, as you read it, it's going to live through you. So yes, I do agree with the Bible. Um, but it also gets you to question, like, a lot of the teachings. Only when he says cast a net to the right, I feel like that kind of goes in with NLP. It's backwards. But that is neuro-linguistic programming. So when he says cast a net to the right, when you have the right side is all about constructing. You're building something. You're imagining stuff. Um, the left side is you're recalling. You're living in the past. All right. You're trying to dredge stuff up and find why it afflicted you. But nonetheless, NLP side note. It, I would recommend if you're interested in looking up stuff about your neural pathways and how to like reprogram it. NLP is pretty interesting to get into. Since we are already talking about the mind, a next book that I've already read and I do recommend, the Emerald Tablets of Hermes and the Kabbalion. Um, this alone just lays out a whole principle of the Hermeticism, where the universe is mental. And I do 100% agree with that. The universe is mental, the universe listens, the universe pretty much constructs your life how you see fit within your own mind. Uh, I should have probably kept this book or this aspect for this whole like little spiel, but I did end up making a little video about Yalda Bayoth, who is considered the creator of our reality along with his archons. Um, Yalda Bayoth is also considered the demiurge, which is uh, a malevolent being who doesn't really like give us a good world to live in, if that makes sense. That's just like a broad like scheme of him. But in the Nag Hammadi scriptures, and like I said, I did read all that, but this is my theory about Yalda Bayoth. I kind of believe we're Yalda Bayoth. I truly believe every religion just leads back to yourself. So The reason why I believe that we are Yalda Bayoth is because we tend to consider ourselves as co-creators of our reality. We create from our mental landscapes. So with that being said, Yalda Bayoth is the creator of our reality. And why I do think it is us is because Yalda Bayoth is considered to have a lion head with lightning eyes and a serpent body. The serpent body, our reptilian brain, fight, flight, or freeze, our survival instincts. The lion head, the Nag Hammadi scriptures were written in the age of Leo. So right there's the lion's head. And like I said in my other video, the lightning bolts in the eyes could simply just be associated with when Sophia made us wisdom, or made Yalda Bayoth. When we were imbued with wisdom, we lashed out and wanted more power so we can control people. So I feel like we are responsible for our reality that we have created. But yeah, that's the Nag Hammadi library. Pretty thick book. And another thing that kind of makes me go with everyone is pretty much their own deity. And it goes hand in hand with everyone pretty much being an extension of God is another huge little series that I've already devoured. The Law of One. This is pretty much a transmission from the 70s where they were contacted by Ra, and they literally, it was a channeling sessions, and I forget how many years they did it, but it was a good amount of years, and each time they transcribed their channeling sessions. And the Law of One literally just entails that we are extensions of the One, the Source, and if we realize that, we are able to become higher in our densities of awareness. Densities is just your level of perception. So if you're low and gross, not nasty, but dense, like you're in your lower three chakras, if you will. And as you raise up to your heart space and up, you begin to enter into the higher densities of existence. And the Law of One also explains how Earth is another living being as well. We are an extension of Earth, and we are here to help Earth transcend into its next phase. I believe in the books it said we are still in like a light heart space, a green space. Wow, I said green space, but I meant like in between our heart, living in our heart consciousness. But I kind of messed that all up. Someone who is actually really, really good at explaining this, I'm kind of like dropping the ball right now. His name is Aaron Abke. You can find him here on YouTube. He did a really, really good job on explaining all of this. If you are follow the Know Thyself podcast with Andre Ducombe, or however you say his last name. Sorry if I butchered it. Find the Aaron Abke on that podcast, and it is very, very in depth about the Law of One. He did a really good job. Quick basis on Aaron Abke. He as well fell out of religion. He was a pastor's son, and he even wanted to become a pastor himself, or he did become a pastor. However you say that, evangelical. I butchered that, but yeah, he dropped out of religion and went towards the Law of One. All right, enough on that one. The next one that I'm actually currently reading, I'm actually almost done, and this has been very, very transformative for my own mental landscape in itself. It's called A Course in Miracles. I only have about 60 more pages left in the text. There's also in this book, a workbook for students, and then how to be able to truly transmit the information. So this is another book that I would recommend. This tells you that we are extensions of God, and anything we see in reality is actually not true. So stop dredging up the past. It's not real. Sure, bad things might have happened to you, but you need to realize you are not your body. Okay, so technically nothing happened to you. Nothing. That's kind of hard to accept, but it's true. The quicker that we are able to accept it, the quicker you're able to start creating a better lifestyle for yourself and start living in the present moment, because that's all that exists. I had this one thought a while back, kind of like a thought experiment. So, for everyone who believes that we live in a simulation, here is a way that you should try to constructing a life that you want. Imagine we do live in a simulation. Quick question: how many times have we actually lived this existence? You don't know. A quick restart, mind wiped, new startup. So why not create a life that you actually appreciate, and you, if someone else was to live your life, they would respect, to see where you came from, how many traumas you've had, to the life that you ended with. Oh, yeah, hell yeah, that aspect alone made me get my ass in gear. So that was just, if you believe that we live in a simulation and don't really vibe with any of religion. I don't really vibe with religion either, but I do vibe with spirituality, and I believe everything is mental and everything is true. Um, but yeah, uh, another book that I would recommend, it's not really a scripture book or a holy book, but it does touch base from like a messianic point of view. I don't believe that he was a Freemason or anything. I just know that he probably talked to them. Anyways, it is The Secret History of the World by Mark Booth. Uh, one one of my favorite books to read. And I'm most likely gonna have to read again because right now I'm kind of like dogging all the information in my mind, trying to talk about it. But if I remember correctly, he talks about someone going through the initiations and getting taken up through the spheres of existence, and pretty much at each sphere they learn different knowledge, not only about themselves but about humanity and as a whole. Also, another thing that kind of touch base on that is when I want to say it was this book. Don't quote me because I might be wrong, and I'm sorry if I am. When we die, everyone has a job, right? So if you find yourself kind of getting your body taken apart by demonic forces, they have a job, right? They're there to get you out of that meat suit. So don't think of it as you being tortured. I don't know. That might not have even been this book, but you don't. You shouldn't really believe in the condemnation and being like full of sin. There's always that fear base, but I do believe it does play part in if you are unconscious into the cyclic existence, the wheel of samsara. Um, but yeah, enough on that one. But yeah, the Tibetan Book of the Dead is, I believe, just like a transmission that prepares you for death. And in all actuality, that's why I believe life is just a whole transmission of getting you ready for death to die. Because when we die, if we are stuck in our karmic loops and not really conscious, we kind of just get kicked back to relive another life, and that's where the cyclic existence comes from, and where it touches base in the law of one. When you recognize that you're able to escape from the law, I mean, wow, you're able to escape from the cyclic existence. Real quick, for the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I'm going to read what they have as the cyclic existence, or the wheel of samsara, if you will. It is a state of existence conditioned by dissonant mental states and the imprint of past actions, karma, characterized by suffering in a cycle of life, death, and rebirth, in which the 6 classes of sentient beings rotate. Cyclic existence emerges from fundamental ignorance through a process known as the 12 links of dependent origination. When fundamental ignorance, identified as the misapprehension of the nature of actual reality, is reversed, cyclic existence is itself reversed, and the contrasting state of nirvana is attained, free from suffering and the process of rebirth. So if you don't know what any of the dissonant states of mind are, oh wow, I was in the wrong one, that's why, dissonant mental states, I'm going to quickly read that as well. All right. The dissonant mental states, the essentially pure nature of mind is obscured and afflicted by the various psychological defilements known as the dissonant mental states. The Tibetan word Nyan Mongs, oh shit, I butchered that, implies a mental event where arising causes psychological affliction within the mind, thus destroying its peace and composure. According to the Abhidharma literature in general, there are 6 primary dissonant mental states: fundamental ignorance, attachment, aversion, pride, doubt, and afflicted or dissonant views. And an enumeration of 20 subsidiaries mental states, which comprise anger, malice, dissimulation, fury, envy, miserliness, dishonesty, deception, arrogance, mischief. Yeah, don't really have to read all those. But even more wide-ranging are the 84,000 dissonant mental states, for which the 84,000 aspects of the sacred teachings are said to provide distinctive antidotes. As the root of all these psychological afflictions lies the fundamental ignorance, which misapprehends the true nature of our reality. Oh, that was a lot. Sorry if you still stuck with me. I appreciate you. One love. But yeah, that is all the information that I've already consumed. I would like to read about the Kabbalah and the Tree of Light, the Sephirah, and the Klipoth. What I do know about the Kabbalah, or what I believe I know, there's apparently 22 emanations of us living, which might also tie hand in hand with the 22 major arcana. But you're able to receive information from them to get into help you guide your life. So an aspect of your higher self. But yeah, enough about the emanations, but also the tree of life is also within your body. Robert J. Gilbert, he hosts Sacred Geometry. He explains this in depth, and it is a beautiful concept. He actually takes you, if you ever go on Gaia and watch Sacred Geometry or his expositions on Gaia, he tells you how to pretty much create your Merkaba, which is your light travel vehicle within your body through the tree of life that is constructed within yourself. So that is pretty cool in itself. But the reverse side of the tree of life is called the Klipoth. So if any of you were abused sexually anyways, you most likely entered into the Klipoth unknowingly, which it's all dark aspects. And you gotta climb up that tree before you can reverse back into the tree of life. Yeah, but like I said, I want to read more into the Kabbalah. I am not well versed at that at all. Other than that, other books that I would recommend is Rosicrucianism. Pretty much anything by Rudolf Steiner. He's so intelligent. Like, I can't really remember everything that was in this book per se. I listened to a lot more videos of Rudolf Steiner. But yeah, all in all, religion just leads back to yourself. And the more we realize that, the more we're able to create from our heart space. And I find that to be a beautiful thing. But if you would want to read any of these books, I do recommend them. If you have any recommendations for me, I would appreciate that. My next reading adventures are going to be not really religion based, but I'm hitting some Aleister Crowley, 777 and other Kabbalistic writings of Aleister Crowley, The Book of Lies, Liber Chaos, which is chaos magic for the Pandemonium Aeon. However you say that word. And Libernal Psychonaut. And last but not least, The Key to Solomon's Key. Is this the lost symbol of Masonry? But yeah, I am definitely always diving in deep, trying to figure out everything that this life is. Why not? It's interesting. So if you have any recommendations, send them my way, please. But yeah, other than that, that's all I have. I know I kind of butchered it. My videos will get better, I promise. I am new to this. I am still fighting a shit ton of anxiety. But yeah, if you did stick with me this long, like I said, I appreciate you. Much love. Stay blessed. And as always, learn, endure, and grow. Bye.